Hello everyone and welcome to Old Coins TV channel. If you love exploring the world of coins, their history, value, and rare discoveries, you've come to the right place. Here, we'll share exciting information about coins from around the world, from ancient treasures to modern currency. So, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon to never miss our latest videos. The 2020 United States 1-cent coin, commonly known as the 2020 Lincoln penny, is far more than a tiny piece of copper-colored metal. It is part of a historical chain that stretches back over 2 centuries and reflects the evolution of the U.S. economy, culture, symbolism, and minting technology. The 1-cent denomination was first introduced in 1793 when the United States created its earliest copper, large cents, and ever since, this denomination has existed continuously, making it one of the longest surviving coins in world history. The Lincoln cent series itself began in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, making it the first American coin to feature a real historical figure instead of symbolic characters like Lady Liberty. By the time we reach the year 2020, the Lincoln cent has been produced for 111 straight years, becoming deeply embedded in American culture, found in classrooms, cash registers, savings jars, coin collections, and historical education. Because 2020 was a year marked by the global COVID-19 pandemic, the 2020 penny carries extra meaning as it became part of a nationwide coin circulation shortage, making it a symbol of how even the smallest denomination can reflect major national events. The design of the 2020 penny continues the artistic legacy established in 1909 by sculptor Victor David Brenner, who created the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln that has remained on the obverse front of the coin for more than a century. The portrait was intended to present Lincoln not as a military hero or dramatic figure, but as a thoughtful, steady, intellectual leader whose calm expression conveyed dignity, honesty, and unity, values central to Lincoln's legacy. Over the decades, the U.S. Mint has refined Brenner's original design using improved engraving technology, and by 2020, the portrait appears sharper, with precise detailing in Lincoln's hair, beard, and clothing folds. The reverse back shows the Union Shield, introduced in 2010 and designed by Lyndall Bass. The shield has 13 vertical stripes representing the original 13 states, joined together by a horizontal bar symbolizing federal unity, the very idea Lincoln fought to preserve during the Civil War. The banner across the shield reads, 1 cent, creating a bold central focal point, while the overall design balances symmetry, symbolism, and modern minting aesthetics. The 2020 penny therefore represents more than a monetary unit, it embodies America's artistic heritage and political values. The 2020 penny is composed of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper plating, a combination adopted in 1982 to reduce production costs, since solid copper pennies had become too expensive to manufacture. This modern structure of a zinc core with a thin copper coating introduces unique material science characteristics. Zinc is more reactive and softer, while copper is more durable and provides the familiar reddish color. The copper plating is extremely thin, measured in microns, making the coin susceptible to small surface anomalies, like plating bubbles or blisters, when the bond between the metals is imperfect. Because zinc and copper have different chemical and thermal expansion properties, the coin behaves differently under heat, pressure, and environmental conditions than older, solid bronze pennies. The 2020 penny weighs 2.5 grams, has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and a thickness of 1.52 millimeters. While the coin is inexpensive to produce, the layered structure demands precise control during manufacturing to avoid defects. These engineering and material aspects give the 2020 penny a unique identity as both a low-value currency unit and a carefully engineered metal product. The creation of a 2020 penny involves a multi-step industrial process performed at high speed by highly engineered machines. First, flat zinc blanks are punched from large sheets of metal and then coated with copper through an electroplating process that deposits a very thin and uniform copper layer. These plated blanks are then heated in an annealing furnace to stabilize the metal structure and improve workability. Afterward, the blanks undergo high-pressure striking by steel dies that contain the obverse and reverse designs. These striking machines apply immense force, hundreds of tons, to push the designs into the metal with precision. In 2020, this process faced unusual conditions due to pandemic-related staffing limitations, but despite these challenges, the U.S. Mint increased production dramatically because a nationwide coin circulation shortage emerged. This resulted in some variability in strike sharpness between early 2020 coins, which tend to be sharper, and late 2020 coins, which occasionally show signs of die wear. This industrial complexity demonstrates that the 2020 penny is not just a simple object, it is the product of advanced engineering, mass manufacturing, and historic adaptation during an unprecedented global crisis. One of the most significant aspects of the 2020 penny is its involvement in the nationwide coin circulation crisis that occurred during the COVID-19 pandemic. As lockdowns began and people stayed home, cash usage dropped sharply, and millions of coins, including pennies, became trapped in homes instead of circulating through stores and banks. The shortage was not because the mint stopped producing coins. In fact, 2020 saw extremely high minting volumes. The real problem was circulation disruption. Retailers such as grocery stores and gas stations struggled to provide exact change to customers, and some businesses even implemented rounding policies temporarily. The U.S. Mint launched public campaigns asking people to return coin jars to circulation. During this period, the penny became a symbol of how even the smallest denomination can impact daily commerce. The 2020 penny, therefore, reflects not only its numismatic history but also the economic effects of a global emergency. 2020 pennies are known for a variety of minting errors and anomalies that attract coin collectors. Some of the most common are plating bubbles or blisters caused by imperfections in the bond between the copper plating and zinc core. Other notable errors include die cracks, thin raised lines caused by stress fractures in the striking dies, which often appear around Lincoln's eye, nose, chin, or along the reverse shield. Die chips, which are small blobs of extra metal, also appear on some coins due to die wear. A few off-center strikes have been found, where the design is noticeably shifted, making them rare and more valuable. Additionally, minor doubled dies exist in the 2020 series, typically affecting small details in inscriptions like, "Liberty, in God We Trust," or parts of the shield. These variations make the 2020 penny a rich field for error collectors and add depth to its numismatic interest. While most circulated 2020 pennies are worth only face value, collector demand has created special markets for uncirculated rolls, mint-sealed bags, and coins that receive high grades from professional grading services. Coins graded at Mississippi 67 or Mississippi 68 can sell for significantly higher amounts due to their near-perfect condition. Proof pennies produced at the San Francisco Mint, which carry the S mint mark, are especially prized for their mirror-like surfaces and sharp details. Error coins from 2020 can also command high prices depending on the type and severity of the error. The fact that 2020 was such a historically significant year increases long-term collector interest, making this penny an appealing piece to preserve. The 2020 penny serves as a versatile symbol and educational tool. Teachers use it in classrooms to explain U.S. history, decimal currency, inflation, metallurgy experiments, density measurement, and corrosion studies. Collectors value it as a marker of a turbulent year in global history, while ordinary citizens experience it as a familiar object that persisted even during unprecedented societal disruptions. Despite the rise of digital payments, the penny remains a cultural artifact that continues to circulate through everyday life. The 2020 penny highlights how a seemingly insignificant coin can carry layers of meaning, historical, economic, artistic, and symbolic, making it a fascinating subject for study and preservation.